George Lemon. The world knows him as Meadowlark. He joined the world-famous Harlem Globetrotters in 1955. The naysayers said no one could ever replace Goose Tatum. They were wrong. For the next 24 years, he was the clown prince of basketball. Wilt Chamberlain called him the greatest player of all time. When he left the Globetrotters in 1979, his career was only beginning. He would appear in television sitcoms. Movies. He even recorded his own album. He started his own ministry, and he's highly sought after worldwide as a public speaker. And in 2003, he was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame.
No man has ever made more people happy or entertained more people in the sport of basketball. And you did it with a style and a grace that made all of us proud. And so tonight, by virtue of the vote of the Honors Committee and by the power vested in the Board of Trustees, it's my privilege to induct you as a contributor into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame with all rights and privileges. Congratulations.
Thank you. One of a young men in one of my basketball camps, he came up to me one day and said, "Mr. Meadowlark?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You got it going on." Tonight, we have it going on. Thank you so much. God bless you.
We are honored to have on your Primetime Sports today the legendary Meadowlark Lemon. Thank you so much for coming on with us. You are in town for a lot of different reasons here in Paragould, a lot of different fundraisers, a lot of different events. Let's talk about those first of all. You were at the Treasure House on Saturday, this past Saturday, for a meet and greet promoting the upcoming events. And one of those was this past Monday night in Piggott for the, there's a fundraiser down there that you had for a banquet and the ministry that's up in Piggott.
Yeah, that is correct. We have friends all over the state, and when all of this came together, it just popped up all at one time, and a lot of people had to scramble to put everything into place. And so all of the week we've been just working at this. And the basketball game that's coming up on Saturday, it's going to be something that's going to be special. We're going to raise a lot of money, hopefully, for a lot of good people out there, a lot of young people who are in need, who have gotten themselves into a few situations, and the group that we have here are going to help them get out of it as much as possible.
We're doing this interview from Lifehouse Ministries here in Paragould and Centers for Fathers and Families, and they are the beneficiary of this event.
And that's correct. And where we are now taping this, they have all kinds of things, and I didn't realize that this was as large as it is, and it's we have everything in here that the young people need, especially the young girls who happen to get pregnant and they don't know what to do, and they can come to this organization, and these people have really helped them out a great deal. They got everything here for babies, and they got I don't know what all this they have here, but it's a whole bunch of stuff and a lot of information on what the young ladies, young men should be able to do with their lives. When when the young lady gets pregnant, a young teenager gets pregnant, they can come to this organization, and they will really put everything into motion for them.
So the basketball game, it's a benefit basketball game, you and the Harlem All-Stars.
That is
not
correct.
to be confused with the Harlem Globetrotters. This is
Thank
your
you.
team.
Thank you. Yeah, this is Meadowlark Lemon Harlem All-Stars, and we do fundraisers like this all over the country, and hopefully we're going to be all over the world. We're working on getting into the Orient right now, and I think that's going to come up pretty soon. I'll be with some of the retired NBA players. We're going to Calvin Murphy and hopefully.
And these are folks that are going to be here in Paragould on Saturday afternoon.
Well, not NBA players, but the players that we have with the Harlem All-Stars. We have some really good, talented people.
In fact, I think we have a list of those players.
Well, those I think the players that's going to play against us.
These are the local players.
Yeah,
I see.
And a lot of those players are. I have my glasses. Well, I don't have my glasses.
I've got it off camera here, but I want to read this. Jason Knoll, the pastor at Eastside Baptist Church, and Kevin Edgar, the pastor at the First Church of God, and yes. David Moat, the pastor at Providence Baptist Church. I think every pastor from every church in Paragould is going to be there. Hopefully, Pastor Pat Graham's Southside Community Church. The list goes on and on. We may be here all day calling out this list. Who's going to play on your team? Do you know off the top of your head?
Oh, yeah, we have Pee Wee Harrison.
Oh, wow.
He's been with me for quite some time. And a couple other players that we have coming in from, our players come from all over the country. A couple of players going to come in from Omaha, Nebraska, who plays with us. Several players from Portland, Oregon. And we're just going to come in and put on a show, and it's going to be a fun time playing against some of the pastors and some of the other dignitaries from out of the area. And we're just going to have a good time, and hopefully we're going to raise a lot of money for this organization to help our young people out.
That's at Paragould High School, Saturday afternoon. Tip time it's actually Saturday night, isn't it? 6 o'clock Saturday night.
Yeah, I think the doors open at 5 p.m., and you need to get there in time so you make sure you get a good seat.
And tickets are $15 each. That's a general admission ticket. And I believe you can also buy those in advance either at Lifehouse Ministries or at Paragould High School, or you can get them at the gate.
Yes. If you're going to come at the gate, you better come early.
Yeah, it's the Paragould Gymnasium. Folks around here know it's not the biggest gymnasium in the world, so it fills up pretty quick, especially if you've been there for a Greene County Tech Paragould game. You know how quickly that gymnasium fills up. It's going to be a fun time, and that's Saturday night at 6 o'clock, you and the Harlem All-Stars against our local celebrities.
That is correct.
And this is not, you do this all over the place.
Yes, we do.
You travel the country and in some cases the world raising money for various different charities in exactly this way, putting on basketball games with your All-Stars.
Yeah, this is the greatest country in the world, and I'm finding out that a lot of high schools now, the young people are going to have to pay to play. I never heard of that before. So in cases like that, we do come in and we can raise quite a bit of money to help the athletic program out, any other organizations in the schools that need funding. They can raise as much money as they would like, up to maybe $100,000. Depends on the facility and how hard the young people want to work to sell the tickets. Once they sell the tickets, everything is home free.
And and you do that countrywide, and you've taken it across the ocean into Europe in some cases.
Oh yes,
yeah,
yes. We're planning we're planning to go to Europe, hopefully maybe next year. The Orient next year also, because this year is coming to a close pretty quickly. But we're available, and I speak all over the country. I'm also an ordained minister, so I preach in a lot of churches where around this area here, Paragal. I'll be speaking in about 6 or 7 churches. And last night I was in a church. Yesterday morning I was in church. So.
And you do that everywhere you go.
Oh yes, everywhere. Well, I'm on the road quite a bit of my time. About 50% of the time I'm on the road.
That's amazing. That's amazing. We're really glad to have you in Paragould. We've got a lot more coming up. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to have a lot more with Meadowlark Lemon when we come back on YourPrimetimeSports.com.
You get big time savings and hometown service. Always a bed, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram. At Bed, there's a difference you will clearly see. You're always a VIP. Saving service, great selection too. Bed does it all for you.
Retirement? It's never looked so good. Welcome to Chateau on the Ridge Assisted Living in Paragould, Arkansas. Say hello to fine dining and down-home living, where around-the-clock security and peace of mind are always at your fingertips. And front row seats to the best shows, they're included. We call it Chateau on the Ridge. You can call it home. Call or visit today to get the whole scoop.
Make the switch now to no-fee banking.
First National Bank provides me with totally free checking, and as a business owner, that helps keep my customers satisfied.
At First National, there are no fees and no hassles. Express yourself by choosing a debit card that fits your personality.
I switched my bank to First National because of no monthly debit card fees. Are you ready to switch?
First National Bank, the working bank for working people. Member FDIC.
Let us show you how easy switching can be.
Do you need insurance? If the answer is yes, let Chris Robinson and his staff at Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency handle your needs. Whether it's auto, life, business, or planning for your retirement, Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency is ready to serve you and your family. Come by Chris Robinson Insurance Agency, 1211 West Court Street in Paragould.
What hit me? Hey, team, split up and scram. I'll hold them off. With what? This.
This is the first time in my career I've ever interviewed someone that was a cartoon character. Had your own. The Harlem Globetrotters had their own cartoon back in the 70s, and I watched it when I was a little kid.
And then we had another live situation, comedy called The Popcorn Machine also.
See, I didn't even know about that one.
Yeah, so The Popcorn Machine, it was live a situation, comedy, and we had all the players. We had about 20 of our players involved in that.
Can I say your age on TV? Am I allowed to say your age? Maybe not. Maybe
you don't know my age.
You've been around. He's been around a long time. Do you look back and say, "Man, I can't believe we did that," or "Man, this is amazing"? Do you still get that amazement about the things that you have accomplished over these decades?
I don't watch him. I don't like to watch myself.
Really?
I don't think about that. No, I just whatever we did it, and I just hope that people enjoy it while we were doing it, and hopefully I try to look ahead 5 years at a time. So this year I'm looking 5 years ahead, and next year I'll do the same thing again. I don't want to go behind me and see what happened behind me. I want to venture out and find new things to do, and that's the way we try to live in my house.
You've been doing that for a long time. When you started the Harlem All-Stars, yes, right after you left the Globetrotters, and you've been doing that for 25, almost 30 years with the Harlem All-Stars.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but it's something that we like to do. It's something that I want to do. We get a chance to see some old friends all across the country, all across the world. one of the young men who went into the Hall of Fame with me at the same time, he said he started playing basketball in a little town in Italy when he saw me play as a kid. And he grew up to be 7 feet tall. So, you know, and then he wanted to play the pivot because he saw me play the pivot. So, you know, this is, when I see stuff like that, you know, you kind of smile about it and just move right along.
I've been doing a lot of reading about your early career in preparation for meeting you and talking to you today, and I've seen where you saw, I guess it was the Globetrotters when you were 11.
Yes, that's correct.
And that's what inspired you to go to work and start getting better and learn how to do what they do and join up with them, and eventually you did in 1955.
Yeah, after spending, what was it, 2 years in the armed forces right out of high school, I had a tryout with the Globetrotters right after I got out of high school. And I went to college for 2 weeks and was inducted into the armed forces. Went overseas to Austria for 16 months, 18 months, whatever it was. And when the Globetrotters came to Europe, I had 30-day furloughs, and I'd take off and I'd go with them for 30 days, and then I'd go back to be a soldier again.
That's amazing. When you saw them when you were 11, which one of the guys on the Harlem Globetrotters at that time is the one that did it for you, is the one that you admired the most? You said, that's the guy. I want to do what he's doing.
That was everybody. Everybody. There's so many great players at the time. When I saw them, it wasn't no high-fiving and running out on the floor and doing flip-flops or anything like. These guys walked out on the floor, but they were on a mission. And when they hit the basketball court, that's when everything started. You know, when you see a lot of the young people now who are playing sports, they warm up when they get to the floor. And these men, they warmed up in the dressing room. When they hit the floor, they were ready. They didn't have to warm up and stretch and everything else. They stretched before they hit the floor, before, you know, while they were putting their uniforms on, and before they left the hotels. They were preparing for that game. And when they hit the floor, man, that's when everything happened, and it hit me so hard. I didn't even stay in the movie house after I saw a few minutes of them doing what they did, and I went home to learn how to play, and everything started from that.
When you signed with them in 1955, I mean, that's what you were going for. That's what you were aiming for. Did you ever think that moment would come, and how did it feel when you did that?
I knew it was coming. I didn't have any doubt in my mind. I knew it was going to come, and I didn't know the particulars, the things that you had to prepare for. And that when the owner of the team saw me, he told his daughter, he said, that's the one I've been waiting on. And everything started from that point.
Did you imagine at that time that you would be with them for the next 2.5 decades?
No. I thought I was going to get to go back to college. And one thing led to another. It's almost like LeBron James, you know. People that said, well, why didn't he go to college? Well, he couldn't afford to go to college. If he'd gone to college, he'd probably missed $300 million. So he could have bought his own college.
Right.
Yeah.
The guys that were on the team with you, and arguably, you know, that's the team that I grew up, the Harlem Globetrotters that I grew up watching. That's my generation's Globetrotters that you were on.
Yes.
Those guys that you were on that team with, do you stay in touch with those guys? Do you have a lot of dealings with them even today?
Oh yes. Well, not everybody. It's like doing a movie. You know, you do a movie with some people and you never see them again. But a lot of the people that I played with, you know, if you don't keep in touch with them, you know, and everybody are not friends. You know, they work together, but you don't call them your friend. People like Kurt and Neil, yes, we talk. Marcus Haynes, people like that. Geese Osby, I haven't spoken to him in a while, and he was a really close friend.
From right here in Arkansas, Geese was.
Yes, he's up in Little Rock. He's been up in Little Rock he went to college at Philander Smith, I think it was. And he's he's very subtle, you know, he's a homebody. Likes to stay home. And I'm still roaming all over the country, all over the world.
So do you guys get together and have reunions or
well, I
have a shoot around every once in a while?
No, I do things. You know, I do some things with Curly. I've done some things with Marcus Haynes because we were really close. Other than that, you know, Hallie Bryant, Jackie Jackson, I see them every now and then. And people like that, you know, we talk every now and then. But, you know, people like Curly, we were really, really close. You know, we were like nip and tuck, he and I, you know. One day he'd be Robin, the next day he's Batman. So, and that's the way we kind of worked it out. We had that charisma type thing going between the two of us. We could not see each other for a couple of years, and all of a sudden we come together, and it's like we never left each other.
So when you left the Globetrotters in the early 80s, not long after that, you put together the team that you have now, the Harlem All-Stars.
No, not the Harlem All-Stars. I put together the Bucketeers.
Oh, yeah, the Bucketeers, that's right. And then later on came the Harlem All-Stars. Yeah. But you never really stopped playing basketball.
No, I never stopped.
I mean, you're still playing now. You'll be out there with them Saturday afternoon?
Saturday, I'll be out there. I'll play between, I would say, 3 to 3.5 quarters.
Do you think there are any other members of the Basketball Hall of Fame that are still playing like you are?
Nobody is.
Nobody?
No. I've been totally blessed in what I do. I don't know if I'm on a mission or what, but it's just something that I still enjoy. It's a type of entertainment for me. It's a type of entertainment that I hopefully give the people. And a lot of the people who miss me because they were so young. And now they can come out and see what we did. And their parents who bring them out can, you know, I see the fathers and the mothers in the stands telling them, you know, watch this or watch that. Watch the water bucket trick. Watch him shooting those long hook shots. You know, I told you he was going to do this. And
can you still make the half-court hook shot?
Well, yeah. Not as frequent as I did in the past.
You never missed back then. It was just every time, automatic.
I missed a lot. I missed a lot. You know, people get the illusion out there sometimes that you never miss. One disc jockey told me, he said, you know, you were so fast you disappeared on the floor one time. I said, yeah, I did. No. But, you know, people get the illusion sometimes about something that they enjoy doing and enjoy watching. You know, the people the baby boomers that I grew up with, you know, they still bring their kids out, their grandkids out now to see us play.
The show that you put on now with the Harlem All-Stars, is that show very similar to the Harlem Globetrotters that you were a part of, or are there differences, notable differences in the two shows?
Well, I do the things that I made popular. I do the things that I created. They don't belong to anybody.
Right.
And whoever can hook it up, that's what they do, and that's what I've done. You know, I don't try to be anybody else but Meadowlark Lemon. If there's someone out there trying to copy my style, you know, that's up to them. But I just do the things that I made popular and the things that I created.
Number 36. You've been that number
the
whole way. What did you pick the number, or did they pick it for you?
I can't remember. It goes back so far. But there's a magazine out now that say that you know them by the number. So I'm on a page with Jim Brown, which is, you know, that's top when you can get on the same page with the greatest, or one of the greatest football players of all time.
Number 36.
That is correct.
We're going to take one more break, and when we come back, we're going to have a little bit more with Meadowlark Lemon. He's a busy guy. Lots of places to be and things to do, and we're really lucky to have him right here on YourPrimetimeSports.com.
You get big-time savings and hometown service. Always a bed, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram. At Bed, there's a difference.
Retirement? It's never looked so good. Welcome to Chateau on the Ridge Assisted Living in Paragould, Arkansas. Say hello to fine dining and down-home living, where around-the-clock security and peace of mind are always at your fingertips. And front row seats to the best shows, they're included. We call it Chateau on the Ridge. You can call it home. Call or visit today to get the whole scoop.
Make the switch now to no-fee banking.
First National Bank provides me with totally free checking, and as a business owner, that helps keep my customers satisfied.
At First National, there are no fees and no hassles. Express yourself by choosing a debit card that fits your personality.
I switched my bank to First National because of no monthly debit card fees. Are you ready to switch?
First National Bank, the working bank for working people. Member FDIC.
Let us show you how easy switching can be.
Do you need insurance? If the answer is yes, let Chris Robinson and his staff at Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency handle your needs. Whether it's auto, life, business, or planning for your retirement, Chris Robinson's Insurance Agency is ready to serve you and your family. Come by Chris Robinson Insurance Agency, 1211 West Court Street in Paragould.
Welcome back to YourPrimetimeSports.com. I'm Dave Grimm, and I am having the thrill of my lifetime getting to interview a guy I saw for the first time when I was 5 years old at Barton Coliseum in Little Rock, Arkansas, and I was probably about 4 or 5 rows up, and you were out there doing your thing with the Harlem Globetrotters in 1976. This is Meadowlark Lemon, 2003 inductee in the Basketball Hall of Fame. I could go on and on. We could take the whole show listing your accomplishments and accolades, and I wouldn't get to talk to you. And I don't want to do that. I want to talk to you.
All right.
We were talking about this basketball game. I want to go over this one more time. It's Saturday afternoon, and you're going to play right here in Paragould.
Saturday night at 6.
Saturday night. I keep saying afternoon. It's Saturday night at 6, and it's at Paragould High School, and it's $15 a ticket. The proceeds are going to Lifehouse Ministries and Center for Fathers and Families, and you're going to have your all-stars out there doing what you do.
Yeah, so we're going to be playing against a lot of the local ministers around town. The churches are really pushing it. It's not a church event, but it's a family event, and it's for something that's really needed all across the country. Hopefully, Lifehouse will expand itself and do a lot of things in other cities, because I think it's really needed. And just in this building that we're in now, they got so many things that young ladies and young men need. You know, they have clothing there in the garage next door. They got clothing over there, you know, that the young people who are stepping out on their own don't have a lot of money. But then, too, they they can come to a place like this and get everything they need. The young ladies who don't have a lot of money, they can get their needs met for their babies, and you know, even furniture for their babies and clothing for their babies. And
it's been here a while in Paragould, folks. This is not a new place. It's been here a while, but it's getting probably more attention than it ever has with Meadowlark in town.
Oh, yeah, we're going to start
in your game.
I think Sean, she's going to take a break for about not from this whole thing, but a break from the fundraising that we're going to do and start on next year. We want to get it, put it in a bigger place so we can help this group, Lifehouse Ministry, bring in enough money to hopefully last most of the year. And because it's needed, it's a needed thing, and it's a worthy thing. So I'm happy to be a part of it, and hopefully I can help them down the line also.
Do you think any of these guys on this local team, these ministers or any of these, they got game?
A lot of them have.
Really?
Yes, a lot of them. A lot of them can play. You know, I did a research several years ago about men in the ministry, women in the ministry. Most of them are good athletes. Most of them. I had 2 priests years ago who were very close friends of mine who were drafted by the Dodgers and the Giants baseball teams. So that's the kind of athletes they are.
Sure. Well, and if you had it to choose over again, you'd still pick basketball. But what other sport do you like the most that you could have played maybe both at the same time or would have liked to have played at one point or another?
It would be football and basketball.
Football.
Yeah.
I can see you as a football player. I can see you probably as a running back.
No, I was a receiver.
You were a receiver?
I was a receiver. I was a defensive back and a defensive end.
So that's what you would wanted to pursue if you stayed with football.
Yes.
That's I can see you playing football.
Yeah, I could have been a receiver. I was pretty quick, pretty fast, and I enjoyed the contact because when you're young like that, you think you can run through a brick wall, and later on in life you wish you hadn't played. A lot of my friends who play football professionally, oh man, their bodies are beat up pretty good.
But you don't have near that problem with the game of basketball.
Yes, a lot of the basketball players, the pounding that they get running up and down the floor.
But you personally, are you?
I'm in good shape.
You're in good shape.
I've been blessed. I've been really blessed, and
well, I mean, you're still doing it.
Yes.
You're still doing it today.
Yes, and oh man, it's good. My wife, she's a naturopathic doctor, so she helps me. She keeps me in shape, keeps me eating the right food.
Well, now wait a minute. Did you marry her for that reason? Did you marry her so she could keep you alive and keep you around a little while longer?
No,
She's doing a good job of it, I guess.
Oh yeah. No, we didn't get married because
I know.
of that. We got married because of something else. We just fell in love with each other.
How long have you guys been married?
Over 20 years.
20 years.
Yes.
Well, I'm so glad you were able to be on with us on yourprimetimesports.com. And this is not your first trip here. You were here earlier this year.
Yes.
I'm sure you'll be back. We're so glad to have you in Paragould.
Yeah, I'm going to be coming back several times a year because I'll be speaking in with certain organizations and different churches in the area. So I'll be coming in and out here quite a bit over the next 100 years.
They don't get any more legendary than this. Meadowlark Lemon, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, and everybody under the sound of our voices, I'll see you Saturday night at the basketball game.
All right, we'll be right back. Meadowlark Lemon, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm Dave Grimm. We'll be right back on yourprimetimesports.com.